This is Podcasting Seeds, a podcasting guide for faith leaders and churches. I'm David Kelso, and you're listening to the narrated articles from my email newsletter of the same name. Today's topic, Producer Breakdown, BibleProject podcast. Tim Mackey was the pastor of my church during high school. After a church split in 8th grade, we started going to Blackhawk Church in Middleton, Wisconsin. Tim was a pastor there while studying Hebrew at UW-Madison. And as a growing teen, Tim's approach to teaching scripture made it click for me unlike any pastor I'd had prior. He always preached with a humble demeanor, filled with wonder, with language that was scholarly yet approachable. That's why today I'm so thankful for Tim and John on BibleProject. They're making scholarly theology accessible to everyone through videos, online classes, reading, and my personal favorite, their podcast. I love it. The guided study of the Torah last year was mind-blowing for me. They've helped draw me closer to Jesus, and their podcast is a great case study for nonprofit podcasts. This week, I'm going to break down BibleProject's podcast with a producer's perspective. Here are 7 things the BibleProject does great. Number 1, dynamic insertion announcements. They use pre-roll dynamic insertion on old and new episodes, not for ads, but to ask for questions on their current theme. This is super smart because people are either not caught up, like me, or listen to the backlog again. Number 2, summary and sound bites. Every episode starts out with a short 2 to 3 minute hook for the conversation to follow. It includes key questions and sound bites teasing responses to those questions. Number 3, scholarly theology conversationally explained. When we get into the conversation between Tim and John, it's just a delight. John is always curious and plays the role of the listener, asking probing questions and summarizing how he understands the topic. Tim never lofts his intelligence above everyone else, even though obviously he's much more intelligent than you, and makes complex topics approachable. Number 4, good sound quality. They sound good. No plosives, even levels, front and center. If they are sick or were remote recording, they're honest about it at the top of the episode. Number 5, meditative musical interludes. After a bomb of knowledge gets dropped, they like to take a 30-second musical interlude. It ebbs the stream of conversation just enough to make you mull the last sentence over a bit more. Number 6, what's next? It requires a bit more planning, but they end most episodes with another summary and sound bites from the next episode to get listeners excited for next week. I'm sure they are bulk recording and editorially planning a year in advance, which makes this possible. And number 7, listener-read credits. Listeners, or more recently BibleProject staff, get to share their story and read the mission statement and credits for the project. As a listener-supported nonprofit, this is so smart. It's different every time, gets listeners engaged, and gives them a buy-in beyond their financial support. There's no donate here hard sell, just an awareness to join them in making this content free for everyone. And while we're speaking of credits, the podcast wouldn't happen without the BibleProject team. So shout out to Dan Gummel, Cooper Peltz, Lindsay Ponder, and more. Oddly, I didn't have to look up those names to write that, so flex for me. Take note, my friends, because BibleProject manages to be completely listener-supported across all they do, from animations to podcasts. If you're looking for a blueprint for your church's podcast, go listen to a few episodes. To get you started, I've made a playlist of my 5 favorite episodes that I've listened to this past year. Give them a listen and let me know what you love about BibleProject by emailing me, connecting with me on Twitter, Discord, wherever I am on the internet. You'll find it. If you'd like more coaching like this, plus episode ideas, Jesus-centered podcast recs, and industry news actually relevant to you, then sign up for my email newsletter, Podcasting Seeds. Get all that a week ahead of time, including a private podcast feed for narrations like this one. My goal is to help you make Christ known and cultivate the spiritual development of your community with podcasts. Sign up today and get my free guide to being a great podcast guest along with some other goodies. Link in the show notes. Thanks for listening.